Hey guys, Nolar here, back on the 5-9 mobile channel, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. We don't really cover this particular game here on the channel too often. It is Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, but I decided to go over it because there's just a really interesting thing that's happening over there, and I'm scratching my head. But because I don't really play it that much, I played it a little bit. I do have an expert here at 5-9, and that's JoeWags. Joe, say what's up to everybody.
Hey, how's it going? Happy to be here.
Yeah, and look, I'll just start the topic off right off the bat here. So, purchase gem limit. They are, just like a lot of other gacha games, there's a differentiation in Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where there's paid gems and free gems, right? You earn some free-to-play ones and paid ones. However, unlike the other games, there's no correlation between the two. Like, they all go into one pool, right? Other games, like I think of like Last Claudia, they have a differentiation between paid and free, and they're different banners. Obviously, the paid banners have a higher rate because they're paid for, versus the free ones, which have just a standard rate or whatever rate you want to call it. But here, they're actually instituting an actual limit of how much you could buy, and I think that is 300,000 gems. Just out of curiosity, do you have that conversion off the top of your head, Joe? Like, how much is 300,000 in like actual dollars? Yeah.
Not in actual dollars, but it basically equates to 60 multis. It's 5K per multi. So you could do the math on a gacha game, how much it costs you for a multi, but it would be about 60 multis. I would say if you're buying gems outright, I think DFFOO is probably about like 25 to 30 per multi. So if you do $25 to $30 times 60, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, okay, so like, just the math head in me off the top of my brain, it's like $1,800, right? Let's just say on average, like anywhere from 17 to $1,800. Okay, they put a straight up limit. Now, here isn't the Reddit page for the DFFOO. Yeah, on March 22nd, players won't be able to purchase gems if they currently have 300,000 or more paid gems. It means no MOG passes, costume glosses. Again, I'll have Joe kind of break that down for you. And so this guy in particular, he seems like a whale, right? He's got over 300,000 paid gems, but he got 620,000 free-to-play gems, so acquired gems in this case. Is this kind of like, if you're a good free-to-play player or moderate spender, is this kind of the realm of possibilities, Joe, or is this guy an outlier?
No, it is the realm of possibility. There's a lot of players out there that acquired a lot of both free-to-play and paid gems. So me, myself, I wouldn't consider myself a whale. I basically will buy like a MOG pass. I'll buy like a costume bundle here and there. And I've got over 300,000 gems total. And about 80,000 of those are paid gems. But over time, those paid gems are going to accrue. So even though it's not affecting me now, it definitely will affect me in the future. Some of the whales have saved up over 1 million gems, even 2 million gems. But there's players I know that have 500K paid and 500K unpaid. And so the reason why this is so terrible is they're forcing you to use your free gems before you can go into your paid gems. So an example is there's somebody I know that has 500K free and 500K paid. He would literally have to spend all 500K free gems and then dip below 300K on his paid gems if he just wants to buy a costume. The reason why this is bad, it's not just like you want to go and buy more gems, because yeah, if you've got over 300K gems, you don't really need to buy gems. The problem is you want to buy things like the MOG pass, costume packs, weapon material bundles, and they all have gems tied to them. So you're basically getting locked out of these things that the whales want to buy because they have too many. And that's the reason why this is really terrible.
Yeah, to me, when I read this, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Because why are you punishing the whale? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense in that regard. I'm sure they have the reasoning. Now, let's just move on to real quick to the fact that Square Enix Joshua here, he's a mod, it seems like, or someone who can
He's the community manager. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So he basically said that he's heard the feedback from everybody and wants to give more clarification, but because the team is split all over the globe, in Japan and Pacific Standard Time, it's going to take some time to get back to them. And there's no guarantee that even if they had those discussions that they're going to listen to the feedback and go through, which is fairly standard in that regard. The fact that they even just, say they're acknowledging it is at least a step, but whether the step is meaningful or not is a whole other thing. So, just wanted to showcase that real quick. But yeah, what makes this really interesting is, like you said, a lot of stuff like costumes, cosmetics, or materials you could buy. Like I was recently getting into the game a little bit for the 4th year anniversary, which was I think last month, I want to say.
Yep.
And I was looking at the shop, and of course you got your straight up paid gems bundle packages. And then there's packages like, oh, I want to buy a costume for like $30 for Cloud for the 5th time or whatever. But of course, like Joe said, everything's bundled in with paid gems, right? So if I just wanted that costume or those materials or the Mog Pass, I have to spend money, but then those comes with paid gems. Now with this, do you think there's any workaround behind this? Like any solutions you could think of?
Yes, I did think of a few solutions. Obviously, the best solution is they just realize this is a bad idea and like backtrack and say, okay, we won't do it. But there are a couple of compromises. So for me, one of the compromise would be that they keep the bundles as is, but then they just make separate bundles that don't have gems and they lower the price a little bit so that they have that. Another thing I could see them doing, it's not as good of a solution, but allowing players to still buy the bundles, but just not give them the gems. I mean, I still don't like that because you're literally taking away resources and that they're paying for, which seems really crummy. So, and what's so shocking about this is we talked about earlier, but Opera Omnia is one of the most free-to-play friendly games I've ever played. They've done things very well. They interact well with the community. Like Joshua does a great job. They have monthly streams. They're really intact with the community, and they've done a really good job with everything. So this is why this is such a head scratcher, because this is such like out of nowhere seems like a weird money grab thing, which is really unlike them. And I don't really know how they're trying to achieve more money out of this. All it's going to do is it's going to lose them money because, as we talked about earlier, the whales are the ones that are going to be cut off here. And if you cut off the whales, you're cutting off most of your profit. So I don't understand what the point of this is.
Yeah, I think you said, you and I were having a preliminary discussion. You were mentioning that the biggest thing was they want people to spend their gems and not hoard, right? Because the game is so free to play friendly, they give you a lot of like missions and things to just accrue gems left and right. People just hold on to it till like a banner shows that they really want. And to be fair, the system, like you say, is so free to play friendly. Like you don't need to pull multiple dupes. You don't need to, but you can if you want to. But for like a dolphin or free to play, you pull a weapon once, you grind some materials, and you can just limit break it quote unquote naturally, compared to just like, oh, I need in Dokkan, the equivalent would be like, I want a rainbow, I have to pull 5 copies, period. You know what I mean?
Right.
In DFFOO, you just straight up get the 1 copy, throw some materials at it over like a month, and then you're good, right?
Right. So what it is like if you're a veteran player like me, like you get power stones, and basically any 5-star or higher weapon you sell, you get power stones, and you only need 4 power stones to do 1 limit break. So like on my account, for example, I have like 700 power stones. So literally I pull 1 copy of something, I can max it out. In JP, you can tell they're taking steps because the game keeps evolving, so they need to find new ways to make money. Because on global right now, we're in what they're calling garbage time, which is basically like all these really good characters that we already have maxed out for, they're just getting like an upgrade and you don't have to pull new weapons for them. So there are still new characters that are getting burst weapons and things that you want to pull for, but right now it's a time where everybody's really trying to save gems and stuff on global. Well, the next iteration that's coming out after burst weapons are called force weapons. In force weapons, you need 250 power stones, I think, to fully limit break 1. So what they're really trying to do is to make it harder to just free on limit break stuff. So when that comes out, it will encourage people to pull for dupes more. Like when force weapon comes, that is going to be a thing. But yeah, in JP, this 300k gem limit has already been implemented. It actually just got implemented, and they put out a statement to their player base. I don't have the statement in front of me, but essentially what it says was that this was our choice, that we wanted to do this, and we want to encourage players to spend their free-to-play gems. So that's literally what their intent is. I don't think it's going to work or that it is the best idea to do that. So kind of confusing on that front. And because the other thing people were speculating, well, maybe this is gacha law, or maybe there's some other force telling them that you have to do this. But no, it is their choice to do this, and they're not doing this on any of their other titles. So for some reason, they're feeling like, and I don't know their revenue, so I don't know, like maybe the game isn't making what they need it to make or whatever, but I don't see how this is going to help on their end. I think it's going to hurt them. I think there is going to be a big, not like I don't know if you want to call it like a revolt or rebellion, but players love this game. We don't want it to die out. So even if you're a free-to-play player, you should be concerned, because if this causes them not to make revenue, the game could die out, and that's bad for everyone, and we don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys know mobile games, they live off the whales and the krakens, right? So if the whales or krakens are not happy, that's an unequal equilibrium, and therefore the game's just gonna not do well in the future, right? So,
right.
Yeah, I think the best solution, if their purpose is to make people spend gems or buy gems, if it's either spend or, because spend and buy is two different sources of
right
procedures here. So they want them to spend, then you just, to me, like just off my head, and again, I've barely played the game, you just put a cap on the free to play gems, and then you just do a conversion from free to paid, and it's just at a loss, right? It's like a every two gems that are free gets one paid, you know, whatever. That's one way to do it, just so that people no longer hoard as much. I guess that's one way to do it, and then just put a cap. But this is the very extreme where they're like, your paid gems are capped. You have to burn through all your free to play ones first before you can even touch the pile that you have left. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this has been out for a couple days. I heard about it and I was really scratching my head because I don't think this is a good move, period, right? Like, even as a whale in other games, I'm just thinking this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, again, there's no differentiating banner. Like, there's no two separate banners that are paid gems versus free gems. Because if there was, if this is what their plan is to implement two different banner types, okay, that kind of makes sense to me. But then the fact that they haven't done that and they're strictly saying you got to burn through all your free to play before you go to paid seems baffling. So yeah, anything else, as you know, you're the one who makes content on the game, you know it better than I do. Anything else you think could happen in your fortune ball here?
All I know is just I'm pretty in tune with the community. I listen to a lot of the biggest, like there's actually several podcasts on the game. This is how passionate people are about it. And they're basically spreading the word on the podcast. And basically all the higher ups in the community, the whales, they're all basically starting a gem ban starting now. Basically until, and I'm included in that. I said in my video, I was going to buy a costume this month and now I'm not going to until we get a decision on this or some real answers as to why this is happening, because this isn't a good take, and we all want the game to do well because we love it so much, and this is the first like real head scratcher that we've gotten out of them, and that's why it's so surprising, because they've always run the game so well, and that's why I'm a day one player and I haven't missed a login, so I'm super passionate about this game. And I want it to do well, so I'm hoping that whatever comes out of this, that they can fix it, they can rectify it, make the player base happy, because I don't want a situation where this is the start of the downfall of the game, because people, like, of course people are doom posting, like, all right, the game's gonna end now, it's gonna die out. I don't think it's that drastic, but this could be the thing that starts that downward spiral if they don't handle it well. So we'll see what happens. We'll stay in tune with it. If we need to do another video, I'll help keep us all updated here on 5.9, but it is a very interesting situation.
Yeah, guys, I mean, I haven't seen anything like this in the gacha community, and granted, I haven't been here very long, but, you know, I've been a whale, and I've been in the community for at least 3 to 4 years, so I've seen stuff. I haven't seen this before, so you guys let us know your comments down below. Like, what do you think about this whole thing? All that kind of stuff. And if you're new here to 5.9 Mobile, want to hear more stuff on gacha stuff, mobile guides, tips, tricks, all that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and let us know all you want to say down in the comments below. Share with your friends, share with your mama. Helps us out. So, with that said, on behalf of myself and Joe, thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next one. We're out.